Alright, here we go for match 2 of Pauper Tron with me, Branoc from Team Volt. We've got a one-lander here, which we're going to mulligan. Even though it has all the tools we sort of want, we can't keep one-landers. No coloured source, but I think we keep this and try and scry into one. Put Moment's Peace on the bottom because we need to get to coloured mana, but not in a hurry if our opponent's on Dismal Backwater. We should be alright against blue-black. Snow-covered island, though. I wonder what that could mean. It's probably just our opponent owns snow-covered islands and thinks they're cool. And sometimes we'll lead on turn 1 island and make their opponent think they're on blue-red Delver, which of course plays snow-covered lands to power out Skred. You never know, could be against Grixis that's playing Skred, but that doesn't seem to make any sense to me. So we're just going to assume that they are purely cosmetic. Sing is good because that gets Mystical Teachings next turn. Yeah, you can have a Muldrifter. That's fine. Draw 2 cards. You draw Thorned Falls, so is there a better line than Mystical Teachings? Mystical Teachings doesn't actually do a lot to find us Tron, so maybe Impulsing's better. Or maybe even evoking Muldrifter. Yeah, I think we'll evoke Muldrifter actually, because then we can play Thornwood Falls if we need to. Just get us more material. Well, both good. You never know, maybe we can rejuvenate her into Tron. And then go Simic Signet Impulse off the tower. Be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, on our opponent's side, it looks like we're going against pretty much well, everything that we've seen so far is relatively usual blue-black control cards, although Ponder over Preordain's an interesting choice with no shuffle effects in the deck usually. Usually if there aren't shuffle effects, Preordain is preferred in Pauper, because you don't really get the opportunity to keep a Ponder like with 2 good cards and 1 bad card. So there we go. Let's rejuvenate her into a power plant, please. No, but Swiftwater Cliffs will do. Still ramp. I'm just going to put Tower and Simic Signet into play. When we do find a power plant, we're going to have such a huge mana advantage over our opponent that it's going to be great. One option you do see sometimes is playing a crop rotation in the deck so that you can Mystical Teachings for crop rotation, which then gets you the Tron piece, but I've found that sacrificing a land is just quite a big cost. Our opponent disfigures the Elvish Rejuvenator in order to get something out of it, because the removal spells are pretty dead, especially Disfigure. Prohibit, sure. Anything we want Mystical Teachings for? Not particularly. So we're just going to Impulse. Ooh. Alright, well, I kind of want that to resolve, thank you very much, so let's just Prohibit. It's not that many cards we care about out of our opponent, the biggest one being Gurmag Angler. No, that's... If we Impulse into Tron, we're only going to have 3 mana left, but I think we just want to fight our opponent's resources down. We've got 2 power plants. Aren't we lucky? I'm going to get the white bordered one to annoy all the viewers, because why not? Alright, we're pretty low on cards, but we can Mystical Teachings 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can Mystical Teachings and flash it back in the end step. But again, there's not a huge amount of exciting targets for it in this sort of matchup. So maybe we do need to build the deck with some more instants in mind, because we can only really get Capsize and Ghostly Flicker in matchups like this, and at the moment Ghostly Flicker's not doing anything. Our opponent's going to have removal spells, so it's not that great. I think we probably just have to get Capsize. Or another Mystical Teachings. Just try and grind our opponent out. Kicked Probe. Alright. We will discard 2 cards. We still have the flashback side of Mystical Teachings and Moment's Peace, in fact, so it's pretty weak on the probe end of the spectrum. My opponent's just discarded some excess lands. Oh, he's got the Paducah Bog, of course. Brutal. Right, well, we're playing off the top then. Like playing Tron in Modern, he'll eventually draw something powerful, hopefully. Yeah, Muldrifter's good. I think this has got the texture of a game we lose with Tron against Control. I think we're going to try and wait for something a little bit more relevant. This does go to show quite how good Paducah Bog is in blue-black Control, though. Another Muldrifter. Oof. Very much has the texture of a game we lose. I think I'm going to wait one more turn with the Moment's Peace. They might have a Gomag Angler or something in the future. Could even play it post-combat here. Yeah, this looks like a Gomag Angler. If it's taking this long. There we go. Good. So we are going to Moment's Peace as of next turn. And we're going to do it in our opponent's upkeep to minimise the chance of them having a counterspell. Pretty lax tapping of mana there. Good. Our opponent can't damage us, that's fine. We do just have to top deck something. That Paducah Bog was quite powerful. It's lost us a decent amount of time. Our opponent's got a counterspell, that's always fun. Teachings is good though. I'm going to use the Moment's Peace as sort of bait. We have got a million mana, although we've got no black mana, have we? That's annoying. Because we know our opponent's got a counterspell, is not really a point in fighting on the upkeep. Probe. Well, let's flash back the Moment's Peace. It didn't fight over it. Oh, let's tap better than that. This is probably getting countered. Alright, what have we got? We can't get Capsize here because it just gets discarded and then we lost it. So I'm going to get Condescend so we can at least scry 2. and try and fight over our opponent's probe. So they've got 4 mana. So we need to go for X5. This is probably going to get countered, I would guess. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully we draw a Prophetic Prism or a Shimmering Grotto and can flash back the teachings for capsize and start capsizing our opponent's stuff. Although they've got a lot of lands that we would need to capsize. And to go, my Angler, oh blimey. Yeah, I think he's forgotten that we Moments Pieced. Well, there's a Shimmering Grotto, and our opponent's mostly tapped out, so I'm going to try and fire it off now. Yeah, like this. Good. Our opponent has tapped out, so we are going to capsize things. So I'm just going to do it as many times as we can, and to save myself from doing the maths. Okay, it's 2 times. Oh no, maybe 3. No, 2, because we've only got double blow twice. And we just have to bounce the anglers. No, not like that. Buy back 3. Oh, you can only use it once. Ugh. Don't want to lose it. It's fine. Did we use that for coloured mana by mistake? That would be unfortunate. I can't remember. And it doesn't show up in the log, so we will never know, except for the viewers who are paying attention and can rewind. And for Steph, who's going to watch this through to edit it, and going to give her a shout out now for the fantastic job she does. Capsize is very expensive. 3 mana and buy back 3. There's a Gurmag Angler. So we need to bounce 1, 2, 3, 4 things. We don't have 24 mana. Okay, that actually means we only need to bounce 3 things. So we're just going to tap all of our lands. 15, 16, 17, 18. We only have 5 blue. We're 1 off! We are 1 off being able to survive, aren't we? Oh, that's unfortunate. Because we can tap this for the 6th blue, but then we only have 17 total mana, or we can tap it colourless, have 18 total mana, and only have 5 blues, so we are dead. Right. Options against control. Wretched Griff seems good. Honor Guard seems good to protect things from removal. Pyroblast seems great. We don't need our circles. As far as things we don't like, we don't really need the Moments Pieces. We're not going to fight that fight, I think. And don't really know what else we're supposed to cut. We have a lot of cards for this matchup. Alright, let's cut the Honor Guard back. Again, cut Capside is so expensive. And 1 counter spell for 6 mana. Not very powerful effect. It's not something we really want to fight. We don't want to cut any of our card advantage. Don't really want to cut any of our mana or counter spells either. Just cut impulse. This is a bit mopey. We can't go Scully Flicker. Kind of want the Elvish Rejuvenators to ramp us. So let's trim a Signet. It's a problem with having 4 Wretched Griffs in your deck. And we draw them here. Sounds a bit slow, but I think I like it enough because on the strength of Rejuvenator and Wretched Griff. Like, we'll probably draw an untapped land in our first 2 turns. There's a decent chance of that, right? Something in the region of 50-50. Duress? Alright, that's probably going to take Ghostly Flicker, which really limits our avenues of attack, because we can't then go off. We have to rely on the Rolling Thunder. Or we get it back with Mnemonic Wall, but there's probably a Bajuka Bog before that happens. That is, we want this to be like deep in our deck. If we get Duress again, that's going to be a pain because we can't get this back. Oh no, Mnemonic Wall does get back sorceries, doesn't it? They've got a Duress. Ugh. That's really bad for us. Because they take this, that leaves Ghostly Flicker and Mopey Dork Beatdown as our only avenues to victory. Well, they're mopey creatures. They're not mopey in the slightest. They're all like really solid. He's left us with the Rolling Thunder. I suppose that's a long way away, whereas Ghostly Flicker for value can come up sooner. Alright, Rejuvenator, do your work. Alright, we would like to draw a land next turn. Actually, maybe we're supposed to evoke Muldrifter there. Minor Power Plant doesn't really matter. I suppose we can always emerge Wretched Griff next turn if we want to try and save the Muldrifters to be cast. Alright, well, that removes the Wretched Griff line. We can always cast these when we have Million Mana anyway. Map's a good draw. Don't think we're in a hurry to activate it though, so let's just evoke Muldrifter. Probably gets counterspelled by the looks of things. No, okay, that's good. Fengraph's a good draw, that's another Muldrifter. Or a Rejuvenator if we're unlucky, but at the end of the day, Rejuvenator's still fine. And also we don't need to use the Fangraph until we have a high density of Muldrifters in our graveyard. Our opponent would probably Bajuka Bog this if they had it. Cast a Muldrifter. Prism. Another Power Plant, of course, yeah. About right. Not really rushing towards Tron here, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, our opponent must have a pretty bad hand, because he's just scooped. And don't want to change anything, so we'll run it back. This sounds pretty good. Map into Prophetic Prism. Got the Ghostly Flicker vulnerable again if he's going to duress us, but he probably goes after these effects first. Yeah, okay. Interesting to see what he goes for. It probably goes after the map, because that just guarantees us a Tron piece. If he does that, we'll just go with the Thornwood Falls on turn 1. Especially we've got Rejuvenator for turn 3, which is great. Yeah, Ponder, go ahead. opponent's playing pretty rapidly, so that's a good thing. Oh, there goes our Prophetic Prison, probably. Yep. Teachings is a solid draw. Good turn 4 play. Another Griff isn't bad. Don't really want to draw it yet. Counterspelled, fair enough. We are going to need to draw some lands. That is not one. So with 3 mana we are passing the turn. Not where we want it to be. Right, we know our opponent has a counterspell as well. And the quick Gurmag Angler's pretty good. We've drawn a Rejuvenator, which is good. We want a tower or a power plant. So if we draw Tron next turn, we have 9 mana total, or 8 with 2 coloured mana. Kicked Probe. I think we are just discarding Ghostly Flicker here. Maybe. What if we yeah, we definitely discard Ghostly Flicker because we've got the Mnemonic Wall. He hasn't played a land though, so if he has a Paducah Bog, that's brutal for us. I don't think Wretched Griffs are working now that they've got the Gurmag Anglers. Let's just discard the Wretched Griffs. We're a little way away from them. Mystical Teachings, okay. Well, that's what we're going to cast this turn. Because we know he's got the counterspell in hand, we're going to main phase it for something. And I think that's probably a Pulse of Murasa. We don't really want to chump block, because in case they draw Natural Tron, I think we can afford one turn where we don't chump block, and in which case we might as well get the damage in. And if we draw any land, we can Ghostly Flicker our Rejuvenator and a land. As a value play, oh, he's edicting us. Fair enough. Should have chump blocked. Tower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. We're going to make him counter the Pulse. Because we have to do something. This isn't looking good actually. Our opponent's had a pretty good start. Quick Gurmag Angler backing it up with counterspells. That's what you need as the control player. And we've missed plenty of land drops. And maybe made some suspect decisions. Right, so let's get the Pulse countered. The Pulse for Rejuvenator, I think. He's got Dispel as well. That's probably going to be good enough then. We have no Moments pieces left in the deck, so we can't get one of those. Not that it would matter. And so that's going to be us dead. Unless our opponent has forgotten to let us counter this. But looks like we're dead. Yep, there we go. Gurmag Angler does its job at killing Tron players quickly. It's just air. We're miles away from lands. So, there we go. On to round 3.